So I'm still seeing the number 33 everywhere I go, and it started on Sunday. But the interesting thing about this is that right before it all started, I saw a 13 Signs Astrology video where he said, I can't tell you why you're seeing the number 33 or 11 all the time. And right after that is when I started seeing 33 all the time. It's and hearing it too. And it's ridiculous because I've only been awake like 2 hours and I've already heard it like 6 times. Like I was watching Alex Jones' video. He's like, "We'll get to that story at 33 after the hour," and I was there's so many examples. I'm just naming off the ones I can remember. I was reading like a magazine at work. It's like 33 casualties, and then here's one that doesn't make any sense at all. I was out. I was driving away from Publix and grocery store, and I saw a Hardee's, and Hardee's has a sign that says like 2 for 3 croissants, and for no reason at all, after it says 2 for 3 croissants, it says like 33, and the 33 on that sign has nothing to do with any like pricing or anything like that. It's just like a random like 33. It's been happening for since Sunday, which was 31st. Well, no, the 30th. So the explanations that I've gotten for this is Rachel says it's the computer reading my mind. Some asshole saying that it's the number 33 is guiding me toward the TV show Survivor. Another guy is saying that seeing 33 all the time is an undeclared initiation to the 33rd degree. Well, he didn't say to the 33rd degree, but he said an undeclared initiation. Then I got another one saying, hold on. Oh, it's them like redirecting your life. In other words, like you were headed down one path and then you were going down, now you're going down another. I don't like it. I think they're gonna. Here's what I don't like about the Survivor thing. As soon as I get to the airport, I'm already drinking fluoridated water. And then when I get to the island and do all the shit, then I'm just starving and drinking fluoridated water, most likely. And this person, this Mason, is always pushing, telling me to get, telling me to take like psychotropic drugs. It is obvious that they're trying to put an entity in me. I'm being told that there's 2 winged beings following me around now. And this person's always telling me to take, psychotropic drugs, and I have no idea why. They never give me an explanation, but they swear it's not to put an entity in me. It's funny how this person's like, "Oh, I'm out to help you." Okay, so I'm like, "Well, tell me how to petition the IRS for the money they made off my straw man." "Oh, I can't help you like that. But here, go to the doctor, take some psychotropic drugs. Life will be better." Yeah, right. Stick to the hemp water. And hemp baked into granola is great. There's like these cereal bars they sell at the store, and they make becoming love even more easier to do. And There's one day where I ate nothing but spirulina and these granola bars where it was hemp baked into granola, and I just like evaporated out of my body while I was driving, and it only lasted for like a split second because I had to focus on the road, and I went to eat chicken like 2 minutes later, so that kind of ruined it. But that's my plan. I've got a whole. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to. Oh, by the way, before I go any further, once you drink like 10 gallons of like the alkaline water, don't take anything like kava kava or creatine or anything like that, because it will fuck you up. It will make you feel like you got drunk and wasted because that you're so clean that it really will mess you up. And I've been messed up for like the past 2 days, so I couldn't even get happy down there. So yeah, don't eat any creatine or kava after you detox, because this basically removes the tolerance that you have to drugs, especially if you get a 9.5 alkalinity. The first like 6 gallons I had was like a 9.5 alkalinity, and I thought that was too much, so I went back to an 8.5. Remember, every little change, every like 0.1 change is like a big change. Because I was getting like I was just feeling like I was drinking so much 9.5 to the point where I felt like I had no personality in a bad way. It was like this bad feeling. So yeah, I got a plan to leave my body, which is basically to. Now I can't meditate in this room. It just never works for me. So I will probably tomorrow. I'm gonna go and I ordered a whole case of those granola hemp protein bars, and basically I'm just gonna pig out, and then I'm gonna meditate, and then I'm gonna win. I'm a winner. I have a plan. Remember, people, cooked hemp is the shit. It's more psychoactive. Even if they say there's no THC, that's impossible. They're lying. And I know someone like Mike Killuminati is going to watch this video and be like, oh, granola lowers the sperm count and the testosterone. Yes, that is true. But here's the thing, Mr. Killuminati. Doubt you killed anyone. If you detox with the alkaline water, you have no tolerance to anything. So I'm going to eat granola and hemp, which is going to make me become love even faster than it did before. And then I'm going to leave my body, and then like the next couple days, next 2 or 3 days, I'm going to have something in the mail, a piece of jewelry that will keep me from my soul being sucked up to some other place, some other dimension. So, and once you leave your body, you get astrally initiated. But we're talking about in meditation. Once you leave your body in meditation, you get astral initiation, and you get jewelry. In my case, it would be soul retention jewelry, since I have a soul. So I'll probably be gone by this week. Ow. I just busted laughed so hard I busted my gut. Yeah, I really think I'm going to be gone by the end of this week, since I'm seeing 33 everywhere. Oh, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Oh, yeah. See, this needs to be on the television. And by the way, I do feel extremely good, a whole lot better than I ever did. So I don't need any um, antipsychotics. I think what happened was that they saw me apologize to the 13th son, so they must have figured he's really gone crazy now. And but yeah, don't take psychotropic drugs for any reason because they really just let them not only track you, trace you, they put entities on you. Adam Lanza was reported as they had to like basically strap him down to like a barber's chair to get a haircut because they put a negative entity, well, not a negative entity, but an entity inside of him, like a demonic, non-benevolent one, and then he shot up them peoples. So yeah, I see a lot of things happening all at once. It's like I see a blue dragon, then you got two winged beings following me around, then you got the number 33 everywhere. Oh, it's funny. I'll tell you, this one is for old Gilbert. Gilbert, you there? You remember when they told you to apply for Survivor? Well, guess what? No, you're not coming with me. They sent your they made sure your application went astray. I don't know why they told you to apply for it, then not have it go through. So as soon as they told me, I was like, "That's totally you. That's totally you. That whole show is totally you." God, you could be. Yeah, you need. I told them to send you along with me because the chemistry would be like, great. Or send anyone. Send Kemet Prince. Send 13 Sign Astrology. Send anyone. Any one of those people would be great. It looks like I gotta bring Planet Riz home the gold myself. All by myself. Yes, I hope I can win this rigged TV show. Gee, I wonder who's gonna win this show. I have no idea who's gonna win. Of course it's me, you dumbass. Oh, you know what? I saw this blonde yesterday at the gym. Perfect. Except for one thing, which is the hamstrings. It's always the fucking hamstrings. The first thing I look for on a girl is the fucking hamstrings. And you know why I think this is? Is because the blonde, the one I marry, the one that's like, the dancer, the one that leads me to riches, the one I saw on mushrooms, I'm willing to bet that one doesn't have any cheese on her hamstrings. Because that's the whole dynamic. Every girl I've ever seen has the hamstring cheese. I doubt this blonde one does because, she's a dancer and dancers are usually very cut. So I really don't think, it's kind of like how I know she's right for me is because she has no cheese on the hamstring. It's just one of those things where it's like Katy Perry can't be human because all of her toes are straight. It's one of those things you never see. And you think you would see it in a gym because that's what people are there to do, to not be piggly wigglies, but apparently that's too much to ask. So, oh, and to this other Mason that's the negative, the asshole guy, he's telling me that my future, basically he is implying that I do indeed master myself before I'm like supposed to be on TV. So in other words, I will end up not needing them. I will only need them in a financial way. So basically, he told me that he implied that yes, I do leave my body without needing the aid of any sort of magic or melanin or that kind of crap. So he told me my future without the Masons, which is that I simply just, my mom dies, father dies, brother dies, I get all the money, then I get, they said that I fuck up the inheritance and I have a run-in with the law, and I don't even know why I would have a run-in with the law. It's not like I go anywhere or do anything. I don't drive drunk, I don't drink, I don't, I'm not white trash, I'm not, like, how, okay, and here's a good time to talk about vibrations. People vibrate toward something. Like, if you see someone's, like, you can tell if you see a chick and you know that, like, what she's vibrating to. And this is why I never, like, bother flirting with young women, because they're always, like, vibrating toward a guy that is going to, like, provide for them. And I see most chicks are, like, vibrating towards, like, a mesomorph or an endomorph. And I see, like, a lot of, especially young girls, they're just, like, you can tell, like, their mindset is, like, they only want to ask a guy out or want to be asked out by a guy that they know is in college or a guy that they know is established already. So that's why I don't bother with girls that have, like, soul contracts on a lower level. And basically that's why I like to deal with the 40. I don't even like to do that, but so people vibrate towards certain things, and if you recall, this is all just a giant math equation, and like everyone I run into is, like, vibrating toward, like, the lower class people, when I know that I'm the ruling class, so I have to wait for that to come back around to me, so I can't deal with any of these lower beings, and I didn't even want to anyway, because that's part of what my point is that I'm ascended in the sense that I see everyone who is not talking about the Moor or the computer or petitioning the IRS as a robot. I can, like, everything. The computer simulation is more palpable to me. For example, I was at Chick-fil-A the other day, and these two kids were sitting there, and they're like, "Oh, dude, yeah, we had such a good time back in the 8th grade, dude, righteous, oh yeah." That's the computer. That's the pre-programmed computer reactions, the pre-programmed computer responses. You're never going to walk into a restaurant and see two Chinese redheads talking about Moorish sovereignty. And it doesn't even bother me anymore. See, that's what I'm saying. I've mastered myself to the point where if I remember how I just said that I saw, like, a perfect blonde in the gym the other day, with the exception of her hamstrings? Before, if I would have saw that, I would have been like, "Oh man, I'm a loser. I can't provide for her. I have no business asking a girl out because I don't have any money to, like, have children and babies and that kind of thing." Well, now that I'm ascended, I have gotten rid of the expectation, and I have become love to the point where it doesn't bother me anymore, because all I know is that my only goal is to leave my body in meditation, and I've got a plan to do that. And apparently I do that, because you got all these 33 numbers popping out at me screaming, "Your life path is about to change," because they know that I won't need them anymore if I can leave my body in meditation. Because it's kind of like breaking in a gun. You the more you leave your body, the more you shoot a gun, the easier, the smoother the action is. Whatever. You become more broken in. It gets easier every time you do it. And they send you some nice jewelry. Handmade by slave workers. I never forget. No, I wish I had that website where Fred had like the catalog of jewelry. Apparently Fred gets to decide, but the lower ones like Gilbert don't get to decide what the kind of jewelry they get. Oh, by the way, you noticed how like 13 sign astrology was like begging for a personality because he's got his altar set up so that he manifests a sense of humor, but he doesn't have one because he's a Mr. Spock. I almost feel bad for him. And I felt that heavy feeling just now where they're sucking you. And by the way, you know who you are. You really brought me down yesterday. I had this one asshole Mason guy. He keeps saying Rachel's a fraud. He said that Rachel was never in the presence of the Queen of England, which is true. She was in the presence of the Queen of England in a different host body. Like Dita Von Teese is a different host body for the Queen of England. So this guy keeps saying, oh, she's a con artist, she's a con artist. Why don't we have a three-way phone call and you can sort all this out? This is the same person who wants me to take medication and all that whoop-de-doo. Alright, I think I'll end this here. I'm 13 sign astrology. I think I'm gonna shut this video down. I'm gonna shut this video down. When I was making the audition tape, which is like, mine was only a minute 45 long, I already felt myself losing in life because when I was making the audition tape, I felt very synthetic. Like, see, when I make these videos, it's organic. But if I'm on TV, it's going to seem to me like very synthetic, and I don't even know what I'm supposed to be. Am I supposed to be myself? Am I supposed to be someone else? Am I supposed to just like be... What am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to be myself on TV? And 13 Signs Astrology was saying that there's going to be like... The news was going to have like people like me go on it and commit disclosure somewhat, and I think it's the better job for me, not necessarily Survivor, but they want me to win Survivor, so in the eyes of the profane, I'm quite literally a survivor. So when the deluge happens, they look to me as a winner, but hopefully by the time the deluge happens, I'll have like 4 strands of DNA and I'll be able to light things on fire with my hands and eyes. Because, you know, that's the thing. Survival is a ruse because you die anyway. But the biggest reason why survival is a ruse because, you know, you're taught you're indoctrinated via television to think that human beings started fires by doing that kind of crap where you create friction with that little bow and arrow thing. That's all complete nonsense. Back in the day, and it's just like now, we used to follow the reptiles around, and they created fire for us with their, you know, super abilities. There was no, like, little bow and arrow with the whittle. There was none of that. There were just people, profane, following around the reptiles, begging for them to light fires to keep them warm. That's That's why I always say we're in their circle. Like Alex Jones is like the king of his castle with the InfoWars crew. They all revolve around him. Same with Vince McMahon. They all revolve around him. That's the natural order of things. On this dimension, anyway. I'll end this video at 25:33.